7.
All right, so we talked about the pseudo contract. If I were to summarize the conversation in one sentence, it would be probably yes, with a perception problem, mostly caused by ECAF's scope. That's it in one sentence. There was talk about controlling the perception, maybe changing the name to freeze account, update smart contract. I don't know about you, but it just occurred to me that looks an awful lot like FAUSC.
From technical standpoint, the BPs can already implement whatever SUDO is trying to do.
Actually, they can't.
Well, we could, the BPs could agree and sign a transaction that set the code and update the auth and remove the code back. So that's already something that the BPs can do. Putting it into SUDO is just a convenience. But that convenience, if we call it SUDO, means that we're giving so high of a power. So what we thought might be a great idea is to limit it to the things that we actually want to do, which is freezing account and updating smart contract when there's a big problem that happened with some of the contracts.
We talked about just doing it now. Kevin pointed out that nobody seemed to care when it was proposed. It did not make any big deal. We talked about doing it at a predetermined date in the future so that we can say it's not us doing it, it's the future block producers doing it to control perception. And we also talked about waiting until there's a big catastrophe on the scale of the Dow hack before doing it. In general, we kind of couldn't figure out why it's such a big deal. It's mostly a perception problem, largely because we don't know the scope of governance. So I think this needs to come after, maybe this needs to come after the ECAF ruling. Did I leave anything out, Kevin? Anyone else who was in the group?
It is only a perception problem. I really want to stress that. Because if you have 15 BPs, you can just implement the contract anytime and use it. It doesn't add any functionality. It's just one extra action. So it's only a perception problem.
Exactly. It was discussed if it should
I
at
just
all
want
be
to make it really clear.
it was discussed if it should at all be communicated to the community or not, because it's something that should people, the common public don't understand, and the BPs have already been doing things like freezing accounts. So SUDO is just a bad name, and maybe it should be implemented and not be communicated like, oh my God, they implemented SUDO.
Maybe rename it from SUDO to something else.
Yeah, so for example, freezing account and updating the smart contract is already in white paper. It's already in white paper, but SUDO, the name, connotates different things for, and it's actually giving a lot more power than freezing account and updating the smart contract. So if we're just, for those two, we should limit the scope of it and just call it that instead of calling it SUDO. So we can also eliminate the public perception problem.
Really, the idea was just for convenience.